Probably saw a good 30 people last week, and have quite a few scheduled for this week as well. So another busy week. We've been pretty busy all year, really. It slowed down a little bit around when school was getting out, but I think people are just had other things on their mind. But it's definitely picking back up, and so we had our break for the for the year, and I imagine it's going to be pretty steady until the end of tax time next year.
Right.
So.
And how do we get in touch with you again? I know you've got 2 numbers.
Right. The local Pensacola office number is 607-2222, and the toll-free number is 877-607-2228. So if you don't want to call into the radio station and ask your question on air, feel free to call in the office and maybe give me 30 minutes or so. But, once I'm in there, if I'm with a client, which we are booked solid back-to-back all day and after 5, because, like I said, we do phone consultations, and I've got a few of those today. And let me back up, I have to apologize to my 9 and 9:30 appointment. My staff kind of forgets that I have a radio show and books them, but so hopefully they're rescheduling you, and we'll take care of you either later today or tomorrow. Sorry about that. They need to remember that every other Monday, 9:30, I'm here.
That's right. Well, they were probably confused because you had a makeup show last weekend.
Right, yeah.
So
and they thought that was the regular
that was
day.
The one. That's all right.
So.
Yeah. People are pretty flexible most of the time.
Yeah, but I hate doing that.
I know. I have had to have the same thing done here because, we go out and about in the afternoon and have appointments, and I'll double book things. And so you've got, receptionists they're doing that for you, thinking they're doing the right thing. And I am my own receptionist. So if I don't write it down on the calendar, it's probably not going to happen. I think in my case, it's because I'm getting old.
Me too.
But the website.
Or my staff is, not me.
Yeah, there you go. You should check out Should I File for Bankruptcy.com. And bankruptcy, by the way, with a CY, not an SY. I spelled it wrong the first time.
Well, or you can just go to ericniederlander.com. That'll get you right to it. Common spelling.
Yeah, because everyone knows how to spell Niederlander.
And Eric.
Yeah, really. Your Eric's a little different, too. Yeah. You're an Irish Eric.
German, but...
Is it German?
It's German.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But, yeah, common spelling, so just zip right on to ericniederlander.com and has everything about bankruptcy. But, no, Got Debt Pensacola will get you there as well, and that is Got, not Yacht. A lot of people think I say Yacht when I give out that website address. But let's talk about the different chapters of bankruptcy. We have Chapter 7, which is liquidation. It's probably the option most people file around here, and that just wipes out the unsecured credit cards, medical bills, those sorts of debts. You can typically reaffirm and continue paying on your house and car if you wish to keep those items. And then we have Chapter 13, which is normally a 5-year repayment plan, so you pay some or all the debt back over the repayment period. It's kind of like the debt consolidation stuff that you see advertised on TV, but it actually is legitimate and has the force of law behind it, so your creditors have to accept the payment if it's approved by the bankruptcy court. I would caution people to not do the debt consolidation that you see advertised on TV. Rarely do they work. If you go to the Federal Trade Commission's website, that's one of the top complaints by consumers is these scams, and typically you're paying high fees up front, a lot of times a lot higher fee than you'd pay to file a bankruptcy, and your first several months of payments, you're just paying them to collect your money. And then by the time it is time to pay out to your creditors haven't received any payments in months, and you've paid these debt consolidation companies, sometimes $4,000 or $5,000 to do nothing but take your payment, and then you've got all your creditors suing you and everything, and they haven't done anything for you.
Right.
And then we have Chapter 11. That's also reorganization or repayment plan. It's for people with higher debts than 13 allows. Excuse me, losing my voice there. Higher debts than 13 allows, and primarily for businesses. And then another, not really that common chapter is Chapter 12, and that's for family farmers and fishermen. And
oh, really?
It's
gosh, fishermen might be needing that
right
now.
I haven't even never done Chapter 12.
Well, you might be be getting some
Need
calls
to-
about Chapter 12
Need to look
here.
in the definition of a fisherman for the bankruptcy code and see who falls under that.
Yeah, absolutely, because there's going to be some folks here from this the O word,
Right.
the oil spill.
Definitely
that
over in Louisiana. And
may be desperately needing your help.
yeah.
Because you are licensed in Alabama as well?
I am licensed in Alabama and in Texas, but I'm inactive in Texas and don't practice over there. But Florida and Alabama, licensed, practiced, have offices, phone numbers, contact me.
Yeah, and fishermen out there, what about charter boat fishermen?
Yeah, I mean they've definitely experienced a drop in business to zero.
Right.
I don't know exactly where the no fishing ban is. I guess you can't see my hand motions on the radio station, but yeah,
Right.
I don't know where that band is, but I know it's right off the coast here. So I don't know how far east you have to go to actually get a hook in the water and catch a fish and keep it after you've caught it. But I think it's a ways away. So yeah, I guess they're working for BP right now, and who knows if they're actually getting a paycheck on a regular basis through BP. But
I know if they're going through workforce escarosa, they are, but like you said, I don't know. Some of these places, you don't know. Desperate times, desperate measures, but they need to call you. I mean, if you're in a situation, folks, and you are needing to, file a bankruptcy claim, this is the man to do it for you. And there is an 800 number, but the local number is, again?
607-2222.
Okay.
It's an easy number to remember. Even I can remember it.
You have a bankruptcy test, too, on your website that's kind of like...
Right. Those are typically the warning signs that you see, or, you start experiencing the creditors are calling, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, or is it Paul to pay Peter? I don't know.
Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Right. So those sorts of things, and there's several questions there, and
it's not a fun place to be, but I have been there. I have been there, and it was current enough, 10 years ago, to know that it is a stressful, nasty place to be. And thank goodness I was able to get my ducks in a row and not have to file and ruin my credit. But I'm going to tell you, had I known someone like you that could walk me through it, and I mean, you kind of help people so they don't completely ruin their credit, don't you? Kind of get them to that point before.
Right. And the average client that comes into my office, they really should have been there probably about 2 years before. And by the time they're there, it's their last option. They keep trying to pay the credit cards and stuff, and really they should have just come and see me about 2 years earlier, and that's not an exaggeration. It's typically 2 years, and by the time they are actually filing bankruptcy, the bankruptcy is actually going to help their credit score. It's actually going to go up because they've got judgments against them. They've had 2 years of late pays or no pays on their credit report. And by filing bankruptcy, a potential new creditor knows that, one, they can't file again for 8 years, so they've got to make them payments for 8 years. And two, that they don't owe anybody unless it's a non-dischargeable debt like taxes, student loans, child support, alimony, criminal fines, other government-backed debts, or debts involving an accident or injury